My girlfriend told me she needed space, so I respected her. But 3 days later, she posted photos in the Maldives with her ex. That was her biggest mistake, because when she came back home, her keys didn't work, her car was gone, and her entire world had changed forever. I'll never forget the exact words she said to me that night. She looked me in the eyes, sighed, and whispered, "I just need some space. Don't contact me for a while." And like a fool, I respected it. I thought she was overwhelmed with work, maybe stressed, maybe even needing time to breathe. I didn't push. I didn't argue. I trusted her. But 3 days later, 3 damn days. I opened Instagram and saw her smiling in a bikini, cocktail in hand, standing on the white sand beaches of the Maldives. And she wasn't alone. Her ex-boyfriend was right there next to her, arm around her waist. Both of them grinning like they were on some kind of honeymoon. My stomach dropped. My chest felt like someone had stabbed me. I kept scrolling, picture after picture, story after story. Jet skis, romantic dinners, sunsets, and every single one was them, together. She didn't need space. She needed freedom to crawl back to the guy she swore she was over. And I just sat there in my apartment, shaking, staring at the screen, while my whole world collapsed. Do you know what it feels like when betrayal doesn't just whisper? It screams at you in high definition on social media. It's like being burned alive. I wanted to call her. I wanted to scream. But I didn't. Not yet. Because in that moment, as my phone nearly slipped from my trembling hands, a new thought entered my head. If she thinks she's smart enough to play me like this, then she has no idea who she's dealing with. If you've ever been betrayed by someone you trusted, hit that like button, subscribe, and stick around. Because what I'm about to tell you is the most brutal, most satisfying revenge I've ever seen play out in my entire life. The first night, I couldn't sleep. I paced around the apartment, her clothes still in the closet, her toothbrush still by the sink. She had left everything behind, because in her mind, she thought she'd be coming back. She thought I'd just sit here, waiting, desperate for her return. And at first, I almost did. But then anger replaced heartbreak. And once that switch flipped inside me, there was no going back. See, what she didn't realize was that everything she thought she owned was in my name. The car? Registered to me? The lease for this apartment? Mine? Even the credit card she swiped for her little shopping sprees? Yeah, that was tied to my account. So while she was sipping cocktails with her ex on some beach, I was sitting here in my living room with a notebook, planning. Planning how to make sure when she walked back through that door, her whole world would be gone. But I couldn't do it alone. So I called my best friend, Adam. The guy who'd been with me through every dumb decision, every heartbreak, every high and low. He picked up, groggy, and before he could even ask what was wrong, I blurted out, "She's with her ex." Maldives, posting it all over Instagram. There was silence on the other end. Then Adam muttered, "Oh, hell no." "Yeah," I whispered, my throat tight. "She told me she needed space." And this is what she did with it. I'll never forget what he said next. His voice went cold, steady, dead serious. "So, you want payback? Or you want pity?" That was the moment everything crystallized. "No pity," I said. "I want her to regret ever thinking she could walk all over me." Adam chuckled darkly. "Good. Then listen carefully, because I've got an idea." That night, Adam and I sat in my kitchen, 2 beers on the table, as he walked me through step 1 of the plan. "She thinks she can disappear, cheat on you, then waltz back in here like nothing happened," Adam said. "So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna make sure when she comes back, there's nothing left for her to waltz into." I leaned forward, my hands clenched. "What do you mean?" "Change the locks. First thing, she thinks she still has a home here? Wrong. Next, the car. It's in your name, right? Sell it. Don't just take it away. Make money off it. And finally," he smirked, "empty out the closet. Donate the clothes. Toss the makeup. Erase her from this place." At first, the ideas sounded insane, petty even. But the more I thought about it, the more it made sense. She wanted a vacation with her ex? Fine, she could have it. But when she came back, she'd find herself standing outside a locked door, with nothing inside waiting for her. I cracked a small, bitter smile. She wanted space? Let's give her all the space in the world. Adam raised his beer. After that night with Adam, I didn't waste a single second. The next morning, I was at the hardware store. New locks, new keys. As I stood at my apartment door with a screwdriver in hand, my heart was pounding. Not from nerves, but from excitement. Every twist of the screw felt like I was sealing her betrayal out of my life. Click. The new lock slid into place. Her old key? Worthless now. I held it in my palm for a moment before tossing it straight into the trash. That's what her promises meant to me now. Garbage. Step 1, complete. Step 2, the car. That car was in my name. Every payment, every piece of paperwork, all under me. And I knew exactly what to do. I drove it straight to a dealership. The salesman barely even asked questions, just checked the title, ran the numbers, and wrote me an offer. By the end of the afternoon, I walked out with a fat check in my hand. I actually laughed out loud when I realized it. Emily was probably sipping margaritas on the beach at that exact moment, having no clue her ride home had just been sold. Step 2. Done. And then came step 3. The closet. This one stung a little. Because as I pulled her clothes from the hangers, stuffed them into garbage bags, I remembered the nights she stood there, modeling outfits, spinning around, asking, "Do I look good in this?" At first, I hesitated. But then I pictured her in that Instagram post, bikini, ex-boyfriend's arm around her waist, smiling like she had never smiled at me. That hesitation, she had gone on vacation thinking she was living her best life. But little did she know, with every cocktail she sipped and every photo she posted, she was walking closer and closer to the wreckage I'd prepared for her. And I was counting the hours until the moment she stepped into that wreckage. The day finally came. Emily's flight landed at 5:45 in the evening. She had no idea that while she was drinking cocktails on the beach, her entire life had been dismantled back home. I sat on the couch, phone in hand, just waiting. My stomach twisted with anticipation, not nerves, excitement. I wanted to see the look on her face the second reality hit her. At exactly 6:12 p.m., I heard footsteps in the hallway. Then the familiar jingle of keys. Click, click. She tried once, twice. And then, bang, bang. She rattled the doorknob. Her confused voice echoed through the door. "Babe? Babe, are you in there? Why doesn't this work?" I stayed silent. My heart was racing, but my lips curled into the smallest, most satisfying smile. She fumbled again. Click, click. The old key was useless now. And then came the first crack in her voice. "What the hell? Did you change the locks?" I leaned back on the couch, closed my eyes, and let that sentence wash over me. She finally realized. The pounding got louder. "Open the door!" What's going on? But I didn't move. Minutes passed before I heard her footsteps storming away, echoing down the stairwell. And then, silence. Or so I thought. 10 minutes later, I peeked through the blinds. She was standing in the parking lot, her suitcase beside her, looking around in total panic. Because the spot where she always parked her shiny little car? Empty. She froze, staring at the bare space like it had betrayed her. Her head whipped around the lot, searching. She even pulled out her phone, dialing frantically. I could hear her muffled voice from above. "Where's my car? It was right here. What do you mean it's not towed?" I almost laughed. She had no clue I'd sold it days ago. Back at my door, she returned, pounding harder than before. "Open up, damn it! This isn't funny." Her voice cracked, not with anger anymore, but fear. I finally stood up and walked to the door, not to open it, but just to stand behind it. My chest rose and fell with steady breaths as I listened to her unravel. "Please, just let me in. We can talk about this, okay? I made a mistake." Her fists thudded weaker and weaker against the wood. That last part almost made me laugh out loud. "A mistake?" "No, mistakes are forgetting someone's birthday. Mistakes are leaving the oven on." What she did was a choice. A deliberate, cold choice to humiliate me. My phone buzzed. It was Adam. "You hear her yet?" he asked, chuckling. "Yeah," I whispered, staring at the door. "She's breaking." "Good," he said. "Let her. She deserves every second of this." That night, she finally gave up pounding, but the texts started rolling in. "Please, I can explain everything. It wasn't what it looked like, I swear." "Don't do this to me." Each ping made me smile. I didn't respond to a single one. Because silence. Silence was louder than anything I could have said. The next morning, she was waiting outside the building. Eyes swollen, hair a mess, still in the same travel outfit she wore when she landed. When she saw me walking out with Adam, she rushed forward. "Please, just talk to me," she begged, grabbing my arm. "We can fix this, I promise. I love you. I only went on that trip because—" I pulled my arm back sharply, my voice colder than I thought possible. "You love me? Emily, you went on a romantic vacation with your ex while I sat here like an idiot. Don't you dare stand here and say you love me." She shook her head frantically, tears spilling. "It wasn't like that. I just needed time to think." Adam stepped in, his voice dripping with disgust. "Time to think? While grinding on your ex in a pool?" "Yeah, sure." Emily's face crumpled. She looked back at me desperately. "Please, please, just let me inside. We can talk. Just 10 minutes." I leaned close, my voice steady. "Emily, you don't live here anymore. Your key doesn't work. Your car is gone. Your clothes. Donated. You wanted space, remember? Well, congratulations. You've got more space than you'll ever know what to do with." Her mouth opened, but no words came out. She just stood there, shaking, her entire body trembling with shock. And for me, that was victory. After that confrontation, Emily vanished from the building. I thought maybe she'd just give up, crawl back to her ex, and leave me the hell alone. But no, she wasn't done. The next day, I woke up to 20 missed calls. 10 from her. 10 from numbers I didn't recognize. When I finally checked my voicemail, my blood almost boiled. Because it wasn't her voice I heard. It was her mother's. "How dare you throw Emily out like that? She told us everything. You changed the locks. You sold her car. You humiliated her. Do you have any idea how cruel that is? She is your girlfriend. You're supposed to take care of her." I laughed so hard I nearly dropped my phone. Take care of her? She was the one who flew across the world to sip cocktails with another man. I didn't bother calling back. That evening, my phone buzzed again, this time with a text from Emily herself. "Please, I'm at my mom's now." She's furious. Can we just meet? Just talk? For a moment, I stared at the screen, my chest tight. But then I imagined her smiling in those Maldives photos, arm in arm with her ex, and my chest loosened. No reply. But Emily wasn't just begging privately. Oh no, she wanted to spin her side of the story publicly too. 2 days later, I opened Facebook and nearly choked on my coffee. There it was, a long, dramatic post from her. I thought love meant forgiveness. I thought after 5 years together, he'd understand that I made a mistake. Instead, he threw me out, took everything, and left me with nothing. I never knew the man I loved could be so heartless. Hundreds of comments poured in. Her friends gushed with sympathy. Stay strong, girl. He doesn't deserve you. What kind of monster sells his girlfriend's car? We're here for you, Queen. But then, there were other comments too, from people who clearly knew more. Wait, weren't you just in the Maldives with your ex? Didn't you post pics with another guy like 3 days ago? Girl, don't play victim. Everyone saw those stories. The more I scrolled, the more my grin spread. She had tried to paint me as the villain, but her own posts were exposing her. She was spiraling. That night, Adam came over again, scrolling through the comments with me. Damn, he said between laughs. She really thought she could flip this on you? Bro, she's getting roasted in her own comments section. I nodded, sipping my beer. She wanted to play games. She forgot people save receipts. We both cracked up. The next day, my phone rang again. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity got the better of me. It was Emily, her voice hoarse from crying. Please, please, just talk to me. Everyone online is turning against me. My mom won't stop screaming. My friends are confused. I can't. She broke into sobs. I can't handle this alone. I need you. For a split second, the old me wanted to cave. The guy who loved her, who once thought she was everything. But then I remembered she wasn't crying because she regretted betraying me. She was crying because she got caught. So I took a deep breath and calmly said, Emily, you do have someone. Remember? The guy you flew off with? Call him. Let him take care of you. There was silence on the line. I could hear her breath hitch. Then a whisper. He doesn't want me anymore. My lips curled into a smirk. Figures. And then I hung up. The next week was chaos. For her, not me. Every day she'd try something new. A heartfelt text. A voicemail. A late-night call where she slurred her words like she'd been drinking. I love you. I made a mistake. Please, please, I'll do anything. You don't understand. He pressured me. I ignored every single one. And with each silence, she fell deeper into the pit she had dug herself. Meanwhile, my life? It was getting better. I started hitting the gym with Adam, picked up overtime at work, and for the first time in years, I was actually saving money. Every day without her drama, without her lies, felt like freedom. But deep inside, I knew she wasn't going to give up just yet. And I was right. Because 2 weeks later, she showed up again. Not at my apartment this time. No. She showed up at my job. It was a Wednesday morning. I was sitting at my desk, coffee in hand, trying to focus on emails, when I heard the familiar sound of heels clicking down the hall. At first, I thought it was a client. But then, I looked up, and my heart sank. Emily, standing right there in the doorway of my office. Hair messy, eyes bloodshot, looking like she hadn't slept in days. Everyone in the office turned to look. My coworkers froze, whispering. She stepped inside, her voice cracking but loud enough for the entire floor to hear. Why are you ignoring me? My manager glanced over from the break room, eyebrows raised. Adam, who worked 2 floors up, peeked around the corner, eyes wide. I took a slow breath, keeping my composure. Emily, this is my job. You can't be here. But she didn't care. She walked further in, slamming her hands down on my desk. You changed the locks. You sold my car. You humiliated me online. Why are you doing this to me? The entire office went silent. I could feel 20 pairs of eyes burning into us. This wasn't just private drama anymore. This was a public spectacle. Exactly what she wanted. I leaned back in my chair, calm, controlled. Why am I doing this? Emily, you went on a romantic vacation with your ex while I was sitting at home thinking you needed space. Gasps rippled through the office. People leaned forward, jaws dropping. Emily's face went pale. It wasn't like that. Oh, no? I interrupted, my voice firm. Then what about the Instagram photos? The ones where you're holding his hand, drinking cocktails, swimming in the pool together? Do those look like space to you? She froze, her lips trembling. The room buzzed with whispers. One of my coworkers muttered under her breath, "Damn." Emily's eyes darted around the room, realizing everyone had just heard it. She tried to save face, her voice trembling louder. I was confused. I didn't know what I wanted. I stood up slowly, towering over her. My voice was calm, but each word cut like a knife. No, Emily. You knew exactly what you wanted. You wanted him. You wanted to betray me. And now that he doesn't want you anymore, you're crawling back. Well, guess what? I'm not your backup plan. Her eyes filled with tears, spilling down her cheeks as she shook her head. Please, please, not here. Can we just talk in private? I looked around at the circle of co-workers, every single one of them watching, waiting. Then I leaned closer and whispered just loud enough for everyone to hear. No, Emily. The time for private talks ended the second you made a fool out of me in public. The silence that followed was deafening. She stepped back, trembling, eyes darting around the room desperately for someone to take her side. But no one moved. No one said a word. Finally, Adam appeared from the hallway, arms crossed. His voice was cold. You heard him. Leave. Now Emily's lips quivered as she grabbed her purse, her entire body shaking. She tried to speak, but no words came out. Instead, she turned and ran, heels clacking, sobs echoing down the hallway. The office remained silent for a few seconds before someone whispered, "Holy crap." Another co-worker muttered, "Good for you, man." And just like that, the whispers turned into nods. People patted my back. Some even gave a quick thumbs up. In one moment, I went from being the guy with the messy breakup to the guy who stood his ground. That night, my phone blew up again. How could you embarrass me like that in front of everyone? You ruined my life. You're heartless. I read every single message and smiled. Because for once, she wasn't in control. I was. But I had no idea. She was about to take it one step further, because 2 days later, my phone rang again. This time, not from Emily, not from her mom. It was from a number I hadn't seen in years, her ex. When I saw his name flash across my screen, my stomach dropped. It had been years since I'd seen it. Her ex, the guy from the Maldives. For a second, I debated ignoring it, but curiosity got the better of me. I answered. Hello? A deep voice came through the line, casual but firm. Hey, man. You don't know me, but I think we need to talk. About Emily. I almost laughed. Oh, I know exactly who you are. He sighed. Yeah, I figured. Look, I'm not calling to start anything. I think you should know what really happened. I sat down, heart pounding. Go on. He chuckled bitterly. She told me you guys were basically done, that you wanted a break. She made it sound like you didn't care. So when she reached out, I thought, fine, maybe she's single. Maybe we could try again. But then, man, she lied through her teeth. About everything, I clenched my jaw. Figures. She's been calling me nonstop since she got back, he continued, begging me to take her back. Crying. Saying you kicked her out. Saying she has nowhere to go. But I told her no. I'm not her safety net. Not again, I leaned back, letting his words sink in. Emily wasn't just losing me. She had lost him too. Why are you telling me this? I asked finally. Because, he said, his voice low, you deserve to know she's burning every bridge she's ever had. And honestly, I just wanted to tell you. Good for you, man. Good for finally standing up to her. For the first time, I felt validated. Even the guy she betrayed me with could see through her lies. Later that night, Emily showed up again. This time, not crying, not begging, just defeated. She stood outside my apartment building, staring up at my window. Her makeup smudged, her clothes wrinkled. When I finally stepped outside, she whispered, "Please." I don't have anyone left. I looked at her for a long moment, and for the first time, I didn't feel anger. I didn't feel love either. I just felt nothing. You wanted space, I said coldly. Now you have it. Forever. Her face crumpled, but I didn't wait for an answer. I turned and walked back inside, shutting the door behind me. That was the last time I ever saw her. She moved back in with her mom, according to mutual friends. Word spread fast about what she did, and the sympathy she tried to gain on social media evaporated once the truth came out. Her reputation? Shattered. Her friendships? Gone. Her fairy tale with her ex? Over. And me? I was free. Weeks later, Adam and I sat at our usual bar, clinking glasses. Dude, he laughed, shaking his head. I still can't believe how perfectly that all played out. I smirked. Best part? I didn't even have to yell or fight or chase her. I just took everything she thought was hers and left her with what she asked for. Space. We both burst out laughing, the sound echoing across the bar. And for the first time in a long, long time, I felt at peace. So, what do you think, Reddit? Did Emily get exactly what she deserved? Or do you think I went too far? Personally, I think karma finally caught up with her. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more of the most insane, jaw-dropping revenge stories you'll ever hear. Because trust me, there are plenty more where this came from.